Welcome to the studio of Mosaic. We are in Unětice, that's where I live. I'm proud of this place. So we have mosaics in the whole village, which is 2 kilometers of Prague. We have a mosaic which grows every year on the school, and every year we make 1 meter. So now we are in the half, and it should be 10 meters tall in the end. And this is the studio where everything begins and sometimes ends. I grew up in the very center of Prague, in Venceslas Square. I knew I need more space for all my creativity and for the materials which I have all around me. Very near Prague, where I am very attached to. And as well, it's just outside, so we are in the countryside, in the green. Some of my first experience with arts and crafts is definitely from the pavement in Prague, which is mosaic itself. So just jumping over the black and white or the more decorative pavement definitely got inside of me. And then I found out later, not so long ago, when I was teaching in the School of Glass, that my great-grandfather was a director in this school. So I think the glass and the art is running through my veins. Mosaic has it all. Colors, it has paintings, it has sculpting, it has architecture in it. And I like to say it's the 4th dimension or the 4th D of art, of architecture. When I was a child, I remember I always loved to draw and paint. I collected stones and already put some stones together and loved it. I don't know if it's a common thing, but for me it's my life. Growing up, it was like something calling me, something inside. I don't really know how to explain it in English, but it was always something that told me, the inner voice, this is the right way you should go. Combining creativity and creating new things, as well as saving the old ones. After all the schooling, that was the bright career, which we really can't call it a business, because these cultural things are not business. It's more about where your heart leads you. And I am lucky to be able to live off what I do. But it's important to say that I do more than probably some people imagine, whether it's restoration, creation, presentations, exhibitions, publications, and courses of mosaic. So the red line is mosaic, but anything that you can think of is what I do. Years ago, when I had some people around me who agreed to make an association. We happened to have a status of being able to enter the grant system, asking the government money, asking money from the Ministry of Culture and the regions and so on. Mm-hmm. So that's how it developed even our more creative activity. There's not many investors nowadays, private investors, who would say we want a mosaic. Very expensive technique, and it takes very long. So these activities, asking for state money or the city grants and fundings, really helped us manage to do some symposia of sculptures or of mosaics. We have now 35 members. It's called Art Craft Mozaika. Art historians with the mosaic interest or scientists. Out of our 35 members nowadays, there are people who are artists, there are technologists, there are people who are in the art history, and there are restorers, of course, and we have some enthusiasts who like to help. There are volunteers, let's say, when there is some mosaic to be saved quickly, I distribute the message and some of them come on their own will. At the moment, I'm so happy to work with Lenta, who is a great artist, very talented, and a great person, a great human.
I decided that I want to be an artist maybe in my childhood. So when I grew up, I go to the graphic design faculty. Mm-hmm. And I was a graphic designer maybe for 3 years. And then I began to making tattoos. I was making tattoos in Ukraine. I come to Prague. Mosaic on the walls, it's like the tattoos on the people's skin. So I decided to make mosaic here, like to leave some tattoos on the buildings. And I start to make vandalism, like my own mosaic on the buildings. A mosaic atelier. The owner is incredible woman Magda.
Když jsem pracovala v muzeu a Magda, protože věděla, že tam jsou další restaurátoři. Ona spolupracovala s mojí holkou, já jsem nastoupila na její místo. Nějaké svaté mozaiky. Z nějaké
Kostely?
No jako bylo to tady v ateliéru, ale nějaký Kristus nebo Marie nebo prostě něco svatého z nějakého kostela, vůbec už nevím.
I asked how she met Magda. She told that they were working on the museum, and I asked which was the first job, mosaic with Maria or Jesus.
Ale v muzeu jsem dělala keramiku a porcelán. Restaurování.
And in the museum she was making like ceramic.
Tak mě inspirujou malířice. Malujou zvířata.
Zvířata jako slepice, krava nebo...
Všecko.
Všecko? Prostě. She liked to draw animals when she have a free time at home.
It's always some kind of a destiny, and people get here. I have many different offers on emails, students, Erasmus Plus, so people who would like to make an exchange and so on. So I do have a chance to pick some of them. And Lenta, luckily, first or second time I did not reply. I usually do a reply even if I don't have the capacity. But she did try for the third time, and I said, well, she insists, so and she really had a great CV and great works, but it was full here. It was 5 people working before, so I'm happy that I accepted her offer and that we are working together. Nowadays, that when everything is virtual and robotic and so on, but I like to feel the material and feel to be with people, and I'm happy to be based on the earth and have to be possible to touch things. I have academic background, so I always went to schools that had to do with art, whether it was the high school in Prague of arts and graphic design. In Baltimore it was the magnet program. And I tried to enter the sculpture restoration, which was the closest to mosaic, which I already knew I want to follow, but there is no such a school for mosaic in the Czech Republic. And actually, officially, there is only in Italy. There are some schools like that. So I was looking systematically for Erasmus, which could bring me to Italy. So Carrara was the first destination, which is the marble city. There I go at least once a year to buy the material, because all the stone from all around the world. During my doctor's degree, Prague Academy Restoration of Painting Studio, and I went to Vienna Academy and to Florence, which was my dream. Florence, I took my family there, and my 2 children. They were in the kindergarten and I was studying. It was a dream come true. With Lenta, it's very inspiring to work. It's not she always reflects, and she says it sincerely, which is also something very special. She is very punctual in the way, like she would not let anything that is not 100%, while sometimes I already got into this system that you just let it go because, before I make it better. No, it's great to go back in time somehow, and it's great to have such a reflection, such a mirror. Pojďte sem, holky, a let's come here and let's say, like, what do you feel like it should be, it shouldn't be. The idea was kind of like, so what you is because realistic for them, because this is 18 meters. Okay, pipe and so on.
A úplně nehrajeme jako na úplně super tvary, ne?
Ne.
One of the last exhibitions that we had now, that I'm participating with another 3 artists, is happening in the Academy of Science of Czech Republic. I was invited by my good friend, and she is one of our member of the Art and Craft Mozaika. And it's another person that I feel really close to. She finished her PhD on the mosaic mortars, so she calls me her mosaic guru. It's very nice for my ego, but yes, I feel like she's my science guru, and it's always nice hand to hand that I can give her all the materials to analyze.
Just very briefly, I will recap for those of us who don't speak Czech. The exhibition Reflections contains a dialogue between science and art, and it's a unique concept where there is always one, let's say, initial artwork, and it has been analyzed under the microscope via a fragment of the painting or the mosaic by Pavla here. You can see the images from the analysis next to the original paintings and mosaics or near them in the space of the square. And the artists, upon seeing the results of these analysis, upon seeing these images, created or contributed more artworks inspired by this. So it's a true dialogue between science and art, a true reflection of both in the eyes of the other one.
Of course, I would like to thank the artists who didn't hesitate to participate in the exhibition. Zdeněk Dudek, mozaikář, mosaicist, and great artist. Lukáš Hučulák, star of Polish painting, and a star of Polish female painting, Sylvia Svorová Pavelkovic, also from Poland. And last but not least Magdalena Kracik Storkanova from Czech Republic. She makes beautiful mosaics.
You're all artists.
Here we are today opening a show with another 3 artists. One of them is also a mosaic artist, Zdeněk. We were invited by the Academy of Science of the Czech Republic. The idea is to connect science and arts, which I like a lot because for many years I've been doing the experiments under the microscope, and I always like the look of the mosaic under the microscope. But here I exhibit the only real gold artwork that I have, since gold is very expensive, and actually the figurine is part of the triptych. There are 3 figurines. This one is the golden cage, and the golden key, actually the woman is holding a golden key from her cage, because there is many cases and have some experience with living in a golden cage when everything is there, the Stepford ladies, Stepford wives, but you are actually not free. So this is what I wanted to show with this piece specifically. Of course I have dreams and fantasies about where it could go. I'm very happy with what it is now, what my life is now, and if it continued, I will be very grateful. But if there is some dream that could come true, it's a museum of mosaic, where, because there are many mosaics that are left, no one wants to take care of them. It's a monumental art. It needs a lot of space. It's very difficult to make a place which makes sense for the mosaic. So some kind of like a monumental museum of mosaic, that's one of the dreams. And also to have some working system, another very difficult thing, working system like a SOS mosaic, which could work at least European-wise, especially looking at Ukraine, and there are other countries which have their mosaics damaged, so that there could be some structure and we could come as restorers and make like the first aid or the yeah. I can imagine, I don't know if 5 years, 15 years or 20 years, but definitely the excursion, the ambulance and the mosaic museum. Yeah.